Good morning, students. This is class 9 science. Today we are going to study a new chapter, that is tissue. Today we are going to about tissue. In the last chapter we have discussed that in unicellular organisms all the activities are performed by the same cell. The last chapter, that was cell, the functional unit of life, we have studied that all the activities performed by a unicellular organisms, a single cell performs all the activities. There is no division of labor. There is no division of labor. But this does not happen in multicellular organisms. In multicellular organisms, the same cell does not perform, cannot perform all the activities. Instead, they show division of labor. Different cells of the organisms become specialized to perform a particular type of function. Different cells, they become specialized to perform a particular type of function. And this process is known as differentiation. This process is known as differentiation. In multicellular organisms, these differentiated cells form several types of groups. So we can say the group of cells which are similar in structure and origin. Group of cells which are similar in structure and origin and work together to perform a particular function forms a tissue. They forms a tissue. So a tissue can be defined as group of cells which are similar in origin, structure and function. Group of cells which perform same function. Muscles, blood, xylem, phloem, these all are examples of tissues. In this lesson, we will study about plant tissue and animal tissue. We will study about plant tissue and animal tissue. So we can say plant and animal tissue differ from each other. They are not same. They differ from each other. This is because they are performing different types of functions. The cell in plant tissues are rigid and are provided with cell walls, but in animal tissues, cell walls are absent. One important difference is this: plants are stationary, and that is they are fixed, they do not move, whereas animals are motile. And this is the reason most of the tissues in plant body are dead. Most of the tissues in plant body are dead because they have to provide only mechanical and supportive function, and they have to give only structural strength. Dead tissues can provide strength very effectively because they do not require any maintenance and they do not consume energy. Whereas living tissues require maintenance also, energy also. And so in plant, because plant is stationary, most of its tissues are dead. These dead tissues provide mechanical strength without any maintenance. On the other hand, animals are motile. Animals are motile, they are reactive, they have to move actively, they have to move actively in search of food, in search of shelter, for reproduction, and they have to continuously protect themselves from enemies. So they require more energy. In animals, tissues are living and are designed in such a way to support high rate of metabolism. They are living and are designed in such a way so that high rate of energy production is achieved. And one more important difference between animals and plant is their pattern of growth pattern. Most of the plant tissues are dead, so the growth in plant is limited to certain growing regions only. Most of the tissues are dead, so certain growing regions grow well, while the other do not show any growth. But in animals, all tissues are living, and maintenance is required for the complete body part. In plant tissues, which are those tissues which are living and are dividing, are found in growth regions. So we can say only active tissues are found in growth region in plants, such as root, shoot, between the vascular bundles, and there is no such demarcation of dividing between and non-dividing region in animals. Means dividing region in animals is not specified because all the tissues have to grow and divide, whereas in plants growing tissues are present only in growth regions such as root and shoot, and in animals growth is uniform. In animals growth is uniform. So we will study about both types of tissues, plant tissues and animal tissues. We'll start with plant tissues. Plant contain various types of tissues. There are mainly two types. First is meristematic tissue and the second is permanent. Today we're going to study about meristematic tissue. As I've said, that growth in animals is uniform, but in plant it is not uniform. Some tissues have the power of division while others do not divide. A tissue which has the power of division is known as meristematic tissue. So we can say a meristematic tissue consists of a group of cells which remain in active and continuous state of division, and they retain their power of division. They retain their power of division. And where are these meristematic tissues located? They are usually located in the apical regions, that is at root and shoot tip. See, you can this shoot tip. So meristematic tissues are present over here. So we can classify these meristematic tissues. We can classify these meristematic tissues on the basis of their origin and on the basis of their position. Means from where do they arise and what is their position. Then classification on the basis of their origin. From where do they arrive? On the basis of origin, meristematic tissue are of two types: primary meristem and secondary meristem. Primary meristem and secondary meristem. What is primary meristem? It has its origin right from the beginning of the embryo. Primary meristem means the growth starts, origin from when the embryo starts dividing, and it gives rise to primary part of the plant that is responsible for the primary growth of the plant. For example, shoot, apex of root, apex of stem, leaves. And what is the secondary meristem? Secondary meristem appears later when the basic growth of the plant is completed. Then secondary meristem growth starts. It develops inside the permanent tissues and is located laterally along the side of the stem and root. And on the basis of position, in this class, we will in this chapter we will study on the basis of position and location. On the basis of position and location, the meristems are of three types: apical meristem, intercalary meristem, and lateral meristem. Apical, intercalary, and lateral. See this diagram. What is apical meristem? Apical meristem, these are located at the apex of root, at root tip and shoot tip. See, you can see apical meristem. Yes, this is apical meristem. It is present in the growing apical regions of roots and shoots. The plants grow from this side, roots also and shoots also. And they bring about an increase in length of the plant body and also known as growing points. The apical meristem is also known as growing point. Now comes the intercalary meristem. Now comes the intercalary meristem. Intercalary meristem occurs at the base of the leaves and in the internodes. What is an internode? Nodes are places where leaves arise, and internodes are the area between two leaves. Space between two leaves is termed as internode. So, intercalary meristem occurs at the base of the leaves. See, this is the base of the leaf. Intercalary meristem is over. These are merely the portions of apical meristems which have been separated from the apex during development. Means this meristem is a portion of this. This will going to grow, leaving this behind, leaving intercalary meristem behind. These meristems are located at the base of nodes and internodes. Followed, what is intercalary meristem? We can say intercalary meristem are the areas which get separated. See, this is the area which gets separated from the apical meristem, forms the intercalary meristem. Now comes the lateral meristem. This is lateral meristem. This area, this area is the lateral meristem. Usually this lateral meristem is located along the sides of the stems and roots in thin layers. It is present at the sides, and these are composed of initial cells which divide mainly in one plane along the periphery only, and along the periphery they divide over here only, and they help in increasing the girth or the diameter. Means the plant becomes thicker with the help of lateral meristem. This girth, this diameter increases. They help in increasing the diameter of the plant, and they occupy lateral positions. Lateral matlab side positions. They occupy lateral positions in stem or root. Or cambium and core cambium are example of lateral meristem. So these are the three types of meristematic tissue: apical, intercalary, and lateral. And what are the features of? See over here, plant tissue can be broadly divided into two types: meristematic and permanent. What are meristematic? These are known as dividing tissues. They are present in the specific region in the plant body where growth continues throughout life. On the basis of region, meristem can be divided into three groups: apical meristem, lateral meristem, intercalary meristem. Apical meristem are present at the tip of shoot and root. It helps in increase the length of the plant. And lateral meristem are present on the sides parallel to the long axis of the root and stem. It increases the width or the girth of the plant. And intercalary meristem is present at the base of leaves and the internodes of grasses. It increases the length of the internodes. Now, what are the characteristics of the cells present in meristematic tissue? What are the characteristics of the cells? Means, what types of cells are these meristematic tissues made up of? The cells have thin cell walls. They have thin cell walls. Their cytoplasm is dense. They have a prominent nucleus and vacuoles are absent. In meristematic tissue cells, vacuoles are absent. Dense cytoplasm, prominent nucleus, thin cell wall, and actively dividing cells. They are thin cell wall, actively dividing. Shape may vary. It may be spherical, oval, polygonal, and dense cytoplasm, large prominent nucleus. Vacuoles are absent, and they are arranged, and cells are compactly arranged, and they do not have any intercellular spaces also. The cells of this tissue does not have intercellular spaces. So class, we'll end over here. Tomorrow we'll study about permanent tissue. Thank you and have a nice day.